smart people over here in the sun. It's such a pleasure to be here, joining with Councilmember Taylor and Councilmember Larson and other dignitaries today as we celebrate the, I guess, the grand reopening, really never totally shut it down, of Salem Lake. What a jewel, a facility that we're so proud of here in Winston-Salem that offers such a wonderful recreational amenity to our citizens. We're just saying we just completed about a $4 million construction and other renovations for this project, approved in a 2014 bond issue by the voters of Winston-Salem, and for that we're very grateful. We've been doing these ribbon cuttings all across the city, so you see the results of that bond issue all around our city. But today we're concentrating here in the Southeast Ward, and with that regard I'm going to introduce the council member from the Southeast Wards, Mr. James Taylor Jr.
Good morning. I have the honor and privilege of bringing greetings on behalf of the residents of the sensational Southeast Ward. and the work that we're doing here today is always one of the reasons why we're so sensational. I'm very excited about working in local government for a number of reasons, because we're able to come up with complex solutions to complex problems. There are no Republican, Democratic, or independent problems in local government. I remember, if we rewind back to 2013, when the county did their property evaluations, and there were a lot of properties in this community, a lot of residents who saw their properties be devaluated. Immediately what we decided to do was we put together a plan. Half of that plan was to work with the county to appeal those property evaluations. The second half of the plan was to work with the city, the staff, and the community to provide economic investment into our community. As the mayor has mentioned, I'm proud to say that this is roughly a $4 million investment into our community. We have the quarry project, which is roughly a $5 million investment into our community. And I can keep going on and on and on. And I can say that today, fast forward to 2018, residents in this community are seeing their properties back valuated, and there is certainly incentive to move back into this community. If you're familiar with the area, if you look at High Point Road, if you look at Butler Street, we're seeing new housing developments pop up all over the place. There are people coming from all around who want to participate with Salem Lake and with the quarry, and there are people who are coming from all around who want to live in this particular area. So I can say on behalf of the residents of the Southeast Ward, let me back up, the sensational Southeast Ward, I thank each and every one of you for what you've done to help this community to be a better place to live, work, and relax. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Taylor. I forgot to mention Councilmember Burke called me just a little while ago, and she could not be with us this morning, but she wanted me to extend her best wishes and congratulations on this opening. A number of good visitors with us today. I wanted to specifically mention Nick Jamison, the former director of our Parks and Recreation Department, is here. I know Nick's happy to see this project come forward as well. And Tim Grant is here as well, the other former director. Where's Tim at? Right there? Sitting there together. We all were just commiserating about how this place used to look many, many years ago, and all the great leaders, and we're going to be recognizing some of those leaders a little later on with some, hopefully some naming opportunities here. And now I'm going to ask, we have a couple of council members with us today, Mr. John Larson from the South Ward and Mr. Dan Besse from the Southwest Ward, if y'all would like to come up and make some comments.
Moving clockwise from the Southeast Ward. I'm James Taylor's neighbor in the South Ward. My comments regarding this site go back to the 18th century, 1750s, when the Moravians first were looking for a place to plant their colonies when coming south from Pennsylvania. And the thing that they were looking for was a certain topography, but they were also looking for water. And they'd hoped to put Salem, the town of Salem, close to the Yadkin River, but there was no land available there. It had already been settled up. So they settled for the place that we have now, which is Winston-Salem, a hilly place that's watered with a series of creeks, Salem Creek being the largest one, Muddy Creek also being a large one, and they had to settle for those water sources. I think looking back now, if they were looking down on this town and they saw the lake that has been created here, and the recreational opportunities, the amenities that water provides our civilization, both as a source of water for our homes, as a fishing and recreational place, as a hiking place, that they would be very pleased to see that the city has in fact captured the largest water resource, I think, in the county, right here at Salem Lake. And I think we can be very proud that the way it has been developed now and used by the citizens, and I'm pleased that I'll be able to come out here now and be able to walk and fish and look around here. So I hope all the citizens, I've talked to a lot of people and they say, well, I hadn't been out to Salem Lake. And I said, well, you know, go out and look at it because it has transformed radically over the last 15, 20 years now. New dam, new facilities here. It is a major asset to the city, and congratulations to the citizens that have made it possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, fellow council members. I can tell you that the two gentlemen standing to my right are tougher than me. They're here with the regular suit jackets on, and it may be spring on the calendar, but I got out my winter coat and put it on for this morning out here. It's a beautiful day, though. You can see the sun shining on the lake. I'm Dan Besse from the Southwest Ward. Salem Lake has been one of my favorite places in Winston-Salem since I moved here decades ago. My colleague from the South Ward, John Larson, gave you a little bit of the older history of the lake. I'll just make a couple comments on some of the more recent history of the lake. I know that a lot of people here will remember sort of the old fishing shack that used to be the facility here. And then a lot of us are going to remember that trailer that was here, basically a glorified double-wide trailer that was here for a long time. And I heard a lot from the staff that worked there. So when are we going to get, a regular facility here at the marina at Salem Lake? And I hope that if they're not all here out in the audience today, that they're going to get by soon because they're going to like this. And so do I. This has long been one of the premier, if not the premier, recreational facilities in Winston-Salem and Forsyth County. The facilities that we have built here and renovated and provided not just on this spot, but at spots around the lake now, the whole trail running around the lake, multi-use path there. Those facilities will maintain and expand the accessibility to this beautiful natural gem that we have here in Winston-Salem for future generations to come. So that's recent history, and that's a little bit of a look into the future. Thank you for being here today to share with us the ceremony of officially cutting the ribbon for the new Salem Lake Marina. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, Councilmember Taylor and I, we have an uncle that said, if you're going to be dumb, you better be tough. So that probably fits our category today. So we're delighted to be here today. I just was thinking as you were commenting, Mr. Besse, Mr. Larson, the folks who have worked here, call their names. Quincy Stoker was the Salem Lake Warden. Brian Hutchins was here. Elmer Ashley, and maybe others, I can't remember, but Bob? Yeah, Bob, that's right. So so many people have been here and helped to love this lake and love this surrounding area here. And so very fitting and proper that we created a proper facility here for it. I want to recognize our city manager, Lee Garrett, is here, assistant city manager, Greg Turner, assistant city manager, Ben Rao, Preston, who built the place over here. So we're grateful for you. Now I'm going to call on William Royston, who's our current director of Parks and Recreation, who actually runs this facility, and to come up and make remarks.
How's everyone doing this wonderful, cool morning here at Salem Lake?
Great.
First of all, I'd like to thank city leadership, mayor, council, and all the staff that have, and all the various departments that have helped be able to provide this wonderful facility here at Salem Lake. First and foremost, I'd like to take moments like these to make sure that we recognize one of the people that does a tremendous amount of work in managing tens of millions of dollars to make these bond projects happen. And that's Robert Presswood and our city engineering group. A lot of these projects and the work that goes into these facilities cannot be done without their help. So I'd like to make sure we take some time to recognize him and his staff for this hard work. This particular facility, I know Councilmember Besse mentioned the original boathouse or lake house that was here. I started in August of 2005 and received a phone call about 2:30 in the morning in September of 2005 that this facility was on fire. Since that time, we've actually gone through two different temporary trailers. Got to the point where we had this particular, this wonderful facility being built. I know that Dick Butler had a lot of long nights, a lot of long days. Bobby Hege, Brian Hutchins. A lot of our staff worked through some very tough times to get to this point where we have this wonderful and truly dynamic facility that we can call our own here in our park system. It's a brand new 10,000 square foot marina facility. When the ribbon cutting is complete, we'd like to invite you all to come through, walk through the facility. We have refreshments and coffee on the inside. Thank you all for coming out. It's truly a blessing to be part of this process right now, where we finally get to the point where we're able to cut this ribbon and open the facility. It's going to complement an already fantastic 7-mile loop trail. We have a new playground, new restroom facilities, and for those of you who use this facility and people who come to Salem Lake to use this magnificent amenity, we now have restrooms on Linville Road that are open to the public. Because if you're anything like me, you get out on that trail and you have no idea how long it's going to take to get around. So I'm grateful for all of the hard work. Thank you all for coming out, and have a good day.
Now I'd like to hear from the person who really makes everything work here, Mr. Bobby Hege, who is in charge of our lakes program here. Bobby.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out today and tell you how excited we as a staff are here at Salem Lake for all the improvements that have been made here. I started back in 2003 out here at Salem Lake, and I've worked in the building that burned down in the 2 trailers, and this was a long time coming, and we are very thankful to the citizens of Winston-Salem for making this happen. A lot of work has went into this, and I just want to thank all the former staff members that have been here, all the former supervisors, for all the work that's been done. We have a great new facility. We have the marina office over here on the left-hand side of the building, and then we have a great rental space that we also run new programs and other educational activities out of. So once again, I just want to thank everybody, and we look forward to serving you here in Winston-Salem. Thank you.
Bobby, why don't you come on, stay up here. The members of the program and come up behind the ribbon. Lee, you want to come cut the ribbon?